Prince thought he was winning the game. Every day, he enjoyed the best of both worlds. Belinda gave him money, cars, clothes, and an apartment. Campus girls gave him attention, romance, and excitement. He felt untouchable. He believed no one could stop him. But while Prince laughed and enjoyed himself, Belinda was planning silently. Belinda was not an ordinary woman. She had built her wealth through intelligence and strategy. She owned businesses, properties, and connections in high places. She wasn't a woman you could fool easily. So when she saw the Instagram post of Prince with another girl, she didn't scream, she didn't break things, she didn't call to fight. Instead, she smiled. "Prince, you think you're smart. Let's see how smart you really are." From that moment, she began to watch him closely. She noticed how often he came late. She noticed the new perfumes he wore, the strange lipstick stains on his shirts, the new excuses he gave. Every time she caught a sign, she kept quiet. She wanted him to relax. She wanted him to believe everything was fine, because when the trap closed, it would be too late for him. One Friday evening, Belinda called him. Her voice was soft, sweeter than usual. "Baby, come over tomorrow. I have something for you. You said you needed money for exams, right? Don't worry, I'll give you cash." Prince's eyes lit up immediately. Money was always a good reason to see her. "Thank you, maybe. You're the best. Of course I'll come." "Good," Belinda said gently. "Come by noon. I'll be waiting." When she hung up, Prince smiled to himself. He didn't know that this invitation was the door to his prison. The next day, Prince drove into Belinda's mansion. The compound was quiet, unusually quiet. No guards at the gate, no workers moving about. But Prince didn't notice. His mind was on the money. Belinda welcomed him with her usual elegance. She wore a silk robe. Her perfume filled the air, her face calm. "Baby, you're here. Come in, let me fix you a drink." She brought his favorite, fresh juice served in a chilled glass. Prince, without a second thought, drank it quickly. Minutes later, his head began to spin, his vision blurred, his body grew heavy. What's happening?" he stammered, trying to stand. His legs shook, his tongue felt heavy. Belinda stood calmly, watching him fall to the floor. Her face was calm, her eyes were cold. Prince's last sight before darkness swallowed him was Belinda standing over him, whispering, "You're mine now." When Prince opened his eyes, everything was different. He was lying on a small bed in a dimly lit room. His hands were tied tightly behind him, his legs bound. The walls were bare, the windows sealed. It wasn't a bedroom. It was a prison. Prince panicked. He pulled at the ropes, but they were too strong. "Hello! Somebody! Help me!" he shouted, his voice echoing against the walls. No answer. Minutes later, the door creaked open. Belinda walked in slowly, still in her silk robe. Her perfume filled the air, her face calm. "Prince?" she said softly, almost lovingly. "After all I've done for you, you think you can use me and walk away? My money, my body, my love, you thought you could play me? Never!" Prince's eyes widened. "Belinda, please! It's not what you think. I can explain." "Shut up," she snapped, her voice turning sharp. "Do you think I'm stupid? I built myself from nothing. I became rich by being smart. But with you, I allowed myself to be weak. I chose to love you. That was my only mistake." She stepped closer, her heels clicking softly. Her eyes were sharp, her smile cold. "If I can't have you, nobody will. From now on, you belong to me, and you will stay here where I can watch you." Prince's heart pounded, his body shook. He begged, he cried, but Belinda didn't flinch. She only laughed softly, locked the door, and left him in darkness. Days turned into nights, nights turned into days. Prince lost count of time. The ropes cut into his skin, leaving bruises and pain. The air was heavy, the silence was unbearable. Every sound outside, footsteps, a gate creaking, a car horn, made him hope it was someone coming to save him. But it was always Belinda. She came every day with food, dressed beautifully as if nothing was wrong. She untied his hands just enough for him to eat, then tied him back again. Sometimes she smiled, sometimes she scolded, but she was always in control. "You see, Prince," she said one day as she adjusted his ropes, "this is good for us. Out there, you lie and cheat, but here, you're mine, only mine." Prince's voice cracked as he begged, his eyes swollen from crying. "Please, Belinda, I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. Just let me go. I'll be faithful, I swear." But Belinda only laughed softly, shaking her head. "Do you think I'll believe your sweet lies again? No. If I can't have you, no one can." The worst part wasn't the ropes. It wasn't the silence. It wasn't even the hunger. The worst part was when Belinda wanted him. Some nights she came into the room with a small spray bottle. She held his face and whispered, "Don't fight it, baby." She sprayed the chemical into his face. It made him dizzy, weak, unable to resist. Then, while he drifted in and out of consciousness, she used him. She took what she wanted from his body, ignoring his tears. When he woke up, his body felt drained, his soul empty. He cried silently into the pillow, wishing he could disappear. 3 weeks passed. On campus, people began to notice his absence. His friends called his phone repeatedly. No answer. They checked his apartment, locked and empty. Whispers spread. "Where is Prince? Have you seen him? Did something happen?" Some thought he had traveled. Others believed he had joined bad company. But his close friends knew something was wrong. Finally, they reported him missing. The police began an investigation. Questions were asked. Who was the last person he was seen with? Who was paying his bills? Who bought him a car? Very quickly, Belinda's name came up. When the police first visited her mansion, Belinda welcomed them with grace. She smiled calmly and said, "Oh, I haven't seen Prince in weeks. I thought he was busy with school. You know these young boys." Her tone was smooth, her house spotless. The police found nothing unusual and left. But the search didn't stop.
Prince had been missing for weeks. On campus, his absence became the biggest topic of gossip. Students whispered in lecture halls, in hostels, at parties. Everyone asked the same question: where is Prince? Some believed he had traveled secretly. Others said maybe he joined bad gangs. Some even joked he had run away with another sugar mummy. But his closest friends knew better. Something was very wrong. After his friends reported him missing, the police launched a formal investigation. They visited his apartment. It was locked and dusky. They checked his car, which was parked outside Belinda's compound the last time he was seen. When officers asked around campus, the story was the same. Prince had a rich sugar mummy. Everyone knew her name: Belinda. He was last seen going to her house. The police went to her mansion. Belinda welcomed them warmly, her smile as calm as ever. "Good afternoon, officers. How may I help you?" "We're looking for Prince. People say you know him." Belinda tilted her head, acting surprised. "Oh, Prince. Yes, I know him. But it's been weeks since I last saw him. I thought he was busy with school." Her voice was smooth, her eyes steady, her mansion spotless. The officers looked around, found nothing unusual. and left. But suspicion remained. As days turned into weeks, the case refused to die. Prince's parents cried on radio stations, begging for information. His mother wept openly, her voice trembling. "Please, if anyone has seen my son, help us. We just want him alive." Flyers with his face appeared all over the city. Bloggers posted about his disappearance. Hashtags trended online. Students protested, demanding answers. Pressure mounted on the police. They couldn't let the case go cold. Finally, a breakthrough came. A neighbor's CCTV camera captured grainy footage from weeks earlier. It showed Prince driving into Belinda's compound on the very day he disappeared. But the footage never showed him leaving. That was enough for the police to act. This time, they didn't come with questions. They came with a warrant. Belinda tried to remain calm when officers arrived, but her hands trembled slightly. "Madam, we need to search your property," the lead officer said. "Of course," Belinda replied, her smile thin. The police searched everywhere. They opened wardrobes, pulled out drawers, checked the garage, the garden, the kitchen. Hours passed, but they found nothing. Some officers began to doubt. Maybe he had left through another exit. Maybe she really didn't know. But one officer, suspicious, tapped along the walls in one of the back rooms. Knock, knock. One section sounded hollow. They paused. They hit it harder. The sound echoed. "Break it open," the officer commanded. With a few heavy strikes, a hidden door was forced open. Behind the wall was a small, secret room. And inside, tied to a bed, weak and trembling, was Prince. His eyes widened at the sight of the officers. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered hoarsely, "Help me, please." The room went silent. Everyone froze for a moment, shocked. Then officers rushed forward, cutting the ropes, lifting him gently. Prince's body was thin, his face pale, his eyes hollow from suffering. At the doorway, Belinda stood frozen. For the first time, her mask cracked. Her face turned pale. Her lips trembled. "Madam, you are under arrest," the officer said firmly. The news spread like wildfire. Videos of the rescue, recorded on police phones, leaked online. People saw the once flashy Prince looking like a shadow of himself, weak and broken. Behind him, in handcuffs, was Belinda, the elegant businesswoman now disgraced. Neighbors gathered outside her mansion, whispering, "Is it true? She locked him up? So all this time, she was hiding him?" Journalists shouted questions as officers dragged her away. "Madam, why did you do it? Is it true you kidnapped your boyfriend?" Belinda kept her head down. She said nothing. By evening, her name was everywhere. TV, radio, blogs, social media. In court, Belinda faced charges of kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and sexual assault. Her lawyers tried to argue, painting her as a woman in love who lost control. But the evidence was overwhelming. The CCTV footage, the hidden room, Prince's testimony. It was too much. The judge sentenced her to years in prison. For a woman who once commanded respect, it was the ultimate fall. Prince was free, but freedom didn't feel like freedom. When he returned to campus, students stared at him. Some pitied him. Others mocked him. Memes spread online, jokes about the chairman who was tied up by his sugar mommy. But behind the jokes was real trauma. Prince had changed. He no longer laughed loudly. He no longer chased women. He avoided parties, avoided crowds. At night, he woke up sweating, hearing Belinda's voice in his head. He checked his doors and windows again and again, afraid of being locked in. His body was free, but his mind was still trapped in that small, dark room. The truth was clear. Prince's greed had blinded him. He wanted shortcuts, money without work, comfort without effort. Belinda's money gave him all that, but it also chained him. Belinda's obsession destroyed her. She tried to own a person with wealth and control. In the end, she lost everything. Both of them were slaves, one chained by desire, the other chained by fear. And the final lesson? Well, simple. Love built on money and control is not love. It is a prison. Real love is freedom. Anything else is bondage.